Hi, St. Mary's School students. This is Mrs. Andraco coming to you from my new art classroom. I'm so happy to see you here. Today's your first day of art in a very different way. I'm not actually going to see what you're doing and watch how you're doing it, but I hope that you will post some photos or maybe some videos in Google Classroom of how you're accomplishing your art projects. So you have an assignment today. Your first task today is, if you haven't done this already, and you might have already done this, but if you haven't done this already, today is the day to get your art and creative space ready to go. I know Mr. Lazama and Mr. Roddy are going to probably have you do the same thing for music and PE, but your art space is really, really important that you have it down in a specific way. It doesn't have to look like anybody else's way. It can be unique to you and to your family, but you do need to get your art space ready because you have to have space that's dedicated to being creative. I want you to be in kind of have everything ready to roll for yourself, have everything ready to go. So I'm going to show you where I'm working. I have a new studio in my home. My husband and I and the boys, Dell and Sam, we all worked together to convert a bedroom into my art classroom. So I'm gonna show you what my new studio looks like. Okay, so we're in the upstairs of my house. This is our hallway, and I just came upstairs and my husband has a pull-up bar on this door. This is our extra bedroom that we changed into my art space. And it was really important to me that we cleaned out a space and had it ready to go, and that it looked pretty and was kind of inspiring. If we look out the back windows, that's our neighbor's house back there. That's the boys' playground in our backyard. But anyways, I just wanted to show you kind of the room and what it looks like. This is where I'm coming to you from. This is like my studio tour. The very first thing I did when I heard that we were going to be teaching at home was I thought, okay, I need to have a mural planned in this room because I like to be inspired. Do I think that any of you are going to do this? No. This is not one of your assignments, I'm sorry to say. But this is what I did, and my son Dell helped me. I was really, really proud of him. He did these polka dots on this pink flower, and he did the yellow marks down here and the blue dots. It was really fun to kind of plan this with Dell, and then I had these mobile pieces from a different project that I did, and I strung them up and put them up on the ceiling so that, I don't know, just to make it look fun and interesting. And this was my cross that hung in my bedroom when I was a little girl. I always really loved precious moments, so I'm glad to share that with you. So here's what one of the things I would like you to do for your space. I want you to make sure that you have all of your craft supplies kind of gathered up in one place and as organized as you can get them. You know me, you know I'm not a super organized person, but having a space that's organized and tidy really makes a big difference. I want my space that I'm going to be creative to be tidy and clutter-free, and I want to know where everything is. So I gathered up the supplies that I think that I will be needing. So I've got my colored pencils. I've got markers ready to go. These are markers that are just all in case. I've got some Sharpies. I don't really probably need those. I've got my crayon box ready to go. I have a lot of crayons. I'm betting you guys probably have a lot of crayons too. I've got my set of watercolor paints. I have tape. I have paper in here that's ready to go. And importantly, if I'm going to be using paint, I've got some old crummy rags. You can cut up old yucky t-shirts. That's what I did here. Or like things that would soak things up nicely. Here's another cross. This was given to Dell on his baptism. Oh, and this is a piece of artwork from the art teacher before me, from Mrs. Gaylor. I strung up some mobiles over here. And then on my desk, I've got my sketchbook ready to go. This doesn't have to be a sketchbook. You guys can just have regular paper. Like an assortment of paper would be good, like big and small and colorful, and even like magazines, things that you can chop up that's okay with your parents or your grown-ups if you chop them up. I found in my old stash of things some some blank note cards. We're gonna see this project later on. I found in my stuff an ink pad, so I brought that up here. I found these 2 little ink pads too. So I just kind of gathered up all of the creative and crafty things that I could find, and I brought them to one place. I made sure I have a ruler, scissors, some paintbrushes. I've got Sharpies, and these super duper fine tip. These are really handy to have. You don't have to have Micron. You can have a Sharpie brand of these, but just check out how fine tip that is, which is handy. And that's like a nice deep black color. It is permanent, so there's pros and cons to that. I've got my eraser ready to go, and a notepad. This is just for me, my notepad. But yeah, my sketchbook is here. This doesn't, like I said, doesn't have to be a sketchbook. You could make a book, stapling some papers together. You could find some computer paper. For my kids, I've got their smocks ready to go, just in case we're, using stuff around the house that I don't want to get on their regular clothes. And I have my trash can right near me ready to go, so I don't make a big mess, and whatever mess I make, I'm just going to shoosh right into the trash can or into the recycling bin. This is kind of a little silly thing, but I have a mirror. Hi, I have a mirror here just in case I wanted to do some type of like self-portrait work. And that, my people, is about it. I just wanted to show you what I've got, how I organize things, or not super organized, but I gathered things all together and I made my space feel like a space that I wanted to be creative in. So all of this work that we're going to do, you don't have to have these specific supplies. There will be ways to be creative and come up with supplies that you have around the house. But some things like I showed you that would be handy to have are some paints, some brushes, markers, crayons, scissors, paper, glue. Let me see, I made a little list. Even things that you might normally throw in the trash, like bubble wrap, cardboard, those type of things. You don't need tons and tons and tons of them. And you'll be able to see these videos over and over again. So if you don't have those specific supplies right away, handy right away, you'll be able to, come up with creative solutions to find supplies that will do in a pinch. So that's it for now. Your assignment today is to get your creative space ready, and I hope that you will post some photos on Google Classroom or on the St. Mary School Facebook page what your creative space looks like. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you've come up with. All right, good luck out there, everybody. God bless you, and I can't wait to see your work. Bye.